In order to identify the exact characteristics of municipal solid waste, it is necessary that we analyze that using physical and chemical characteristics. So let's take a look on physical characteristics. Information and data on the physical characteristics of solid waste are important for the selection and operation of equipment and for the analysis and design of disposal facilities. The major physical characteristics measured in waste are density, size distribution of components, and moisture content. Other characteristics which may be used in making decision about solid waste management are color, voids, shape of the component, optical property, magnetic properties, and electrical properties. Density or specific weight. Density of waste, that is its mass per unit volume, is a critical factor in the design of a solid waste management system. Example, the design of sanitary landfills, storage, types of collection and transport vehicles, etc. Moisture content. Moisture content is defined as the ratio of the waste of water to the total weight of the wet waste. Dry weight is the weight of sample after drying at 105 degrees centigrade. Moisture content is a critical determinant in the economic feasibility of waste treatment by incineration because wet waste consumes energy for evaporation of water and in raising the temperature of water vapors. Moisture content is essential for leachate calculation. We can calculate the moisture percentage using the following given formula. Size. The size and size distribution of the component materials in solid waste are an important consideration in the recovery of materials. Measurement of size distribution of particles in waste stream is important because of its significance in the design of mechanical separator and shredders. Particle size will also influence waste packing densities, and particle size reduction could increase biogas production through the increased surface area available to the degradation by bacteria. But the smaller particles allow higher packing density, which decrease water movement, bacterial movement, and bacterial access to the substrate. Field capacity. The field capacity of municipal solid waste is the total amount of moisture which can be retained in the waste sample subject to gravitational pull. It is used to determine the formation of leachate in landfills. It is a critical measure because water in excess of field capacity will form leachates, and leachates can be a major problem in landfills. Field capacity varies with the degree of applied pressure and the state of decomposition of the waste. Optical property. Optical property can be used to segregate opaque materials from the transparent substance which would predominantly contains glass and plastic. Magnetic property are used to design magnetic separators. Shape can be used for segregation as flaky substance will behave differently compared to non-flaky substance. Chemical characteristics. Knowledge of the chemical characteristics is essential for the proper understanding of the behavior of waste as it moves through the waste management system. If solid waste are to be used as fuel or any other purposes, we must know their chemical characteristics, including the following. It should be as lipid, carbohydrates, protein, water-soluble constituents such as sugar, starch, amino acids, and various organic acids, hemicellulose, condensation product of a 5 and 6 carbon sugars. Cellulose, a condensation product of 6 carbon sugars. Non-combustible matter. This class includes glass, ceramics, metals, dust, and ashes on account for 12 to 25% of dry solids. Composition of municipal solid waste. Composition of municipal solid waste generating from various sources includes organic waste 60%, paper 10%, fine fractions 7%, plastic, wood and textile 5%, stone, clay 3%, glass 2%, rubber and leather 1%. Introduction to waste management approach. The solid waste management has a twofold approach. First is the minimization of waste at the source, and other is the control of environmental pollution during its storage, conveyance and disposal. If the production of waste can be reduced at the source level, it shall be reduced the cost of conveyance, treatment, disposal, and shall save the environment. The waste minimization techniques are grouped in 4 major categories for hazardous as well as non-hazardous waste, which are as follows. First, inventory management and improved operations. It includes inventorization and tracking of all raw materials, purchasing of lesser toxic production material, implementation of employees training and management feedback, improving material receiving, storage and handling practices. Second, modification of equipment. It includes installation of equipment that produce minimum waste, modification of equipment to enhance recovery or recycling options, redesigning of equipment or production line to produce less waste, improving operating efficiency of equipment, observing strict preventive maintenance program. Third, modifications in production process. It includes selection of non-hazardous raw materials, segregation of waste for recovery, identification and elimination of leakages, optimization of reaction and raw material used. Fourth, recycling and reuse. It includes installation of closed loop system, recycling off-site for another use, exchange of waste. By adopting these waste minimization techniques, the waste is minimized at the source so that its handling and transportation charges are reduced and lesser effort are to be done in disposal. Importance in waste management. In communities where appropriate sites are available, sanitary landfills usually provide the most economical option for disposal of non-recyclable refuse. However, it is becoming increasingly difficult to find sites that offer adequate capacity, accessibility, and environmental conditions. Nevertheless, landfills will always play a key role in solid waste management. It is not possible to recycle all components of solid waste, and there will always be residues from incineration and other treatment processes that will eventually require disposal underground. In addition, landfill can actually improve poor quality land. In some communities, properly completed landfills are converted into recreational park, playgrounds, or golf courses.